Can I tell y'all what's on my
What's
mind?
up? It's your brother, your cousin, your
Can I
uncle,
get
your
a
nephew,
couple of
your
names
friend,
off
but I
my
can't be as soon
chest?
as your kinfolk, William Jewell. Giving you my detail as I articulate. This is articulating rap. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and turn all the notifications on so you can get all the new posts, all the new content when I make it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Just thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for liking. Make sure you share because it's something about caring when you're sharing, right? And I just want to articulate. I just want to give y'all my details on how I see things from my lens, right? And I'm not going to be too meticulous with it. I'm not going to get too tedious with it because sometimes I got to put it in a way that's digestible. Right, everybody's not going to understand the nuances. Everyone's not going to understand some of these things can go over people's head, and I want to be straight into your eyes, right? Into your eyes so you can see the prize and you can realize what's true and what's false. But man, it's been a lot going on, been a lot of things, and I just started off with the highlight of the weekend, right? I started off with the Grammys. And I took my time to record this video. I usually record on Sundays, right? But I wanted to watch the Grammys. And I gotta go to work in the morning. I got a real job, and I need my rest. So I waited till Monday. I said I'm gonna do it Monday night. Right? Give me some time to think about everything that's happened. Give me some time to really digest, everything that went on that stage. And one thing I want to say about the Grammys, because I'm gonna keep it hip hop, right? You know, much love to Kendrick Lamar, right? Much love to Doechii. Much love to the winners that took home a trophy last night with the Grammys, right? And so I guess I'll start with Doechii, right? Because Doechii, she's dope. I like Doechii. But if we go back to my 2024 albums of the year, I did not have Doechii as one of my albums of the year. She's creative. She's artsy. She's different. She's beautiful, right? She's a nice representative of what you want in a woman, right? Smart, funny, right? And just talented. But I did not love that album. I did not like that album. Everybody liked the Alligator Bites Never Heal. I did not like that album like that. I played it a couple times, and really the second time was more of a forced listen. I thought it was a good album for what it was. I thought it was creative. I thought it was different, especially compared to the women that are in that same lane. I thought it was different. But I didn't think it was album of the year worthy. But, it sounds backhanded of me, right? It sounds Cat William on Friday After Next of me, Pimp Hand. It sounds like a backhand, right? It sounds very backhanded of me to give her congratulations after I'm saying like that wasn't an album for me, right? And to be honest, just with all the albums that were nominated, I thought Eminem would win. I thought Eminem would win, right? Because we knew J. Cole wasn't going to collect any trophies because of what he did, right? Although Common and Pete Rock dropped a stellar album, and that was probably my favorite album in that category, right? We kind of knew that wasn't going to be the one. And then we go to Metro Boomin and Futures, We Don't Trust You. And although it had the success, it had the numbers, but it never had the substance. And when we think about the Grammys and we think about how they choose their albums and their songs, we think about more so substance. So some of that type of music usually never gets chosen. It gets nominated, but it usually never gets awarded because the substance of it lacks uh you know real real integrity, I guess in essence, you know, just creativeness. But so I say that to say this, man. Salute to Doechii, right? Shout out to Doechii. Do I think her album was the best album in that category? No, but I could see why she won it. I could see why they wanted her to win it. I could see what will happen to her career now that she's won a Grammy. I can see the play already being played. And it ain't even because people were saying like, damn, I don't even want to talk down on a black woman. I don't want to do that. And I'm not talking down, but when I'm saying what I'm saying, y'all gonna think it's a backhanded compliment. And I don't give a damn what y'all think about what I'm saying, but I gotta say it because this is my truth. This is how I look at it. Right? Like, we saw the trajectory of Doechii all year. People were saying this was Harriet Tubman music. I want to hear that Harriet Tubman music. I want to hear that Frederick Douglass flow. I want to hear, some of that slavery music. I want to hear that tune. I want to hear some of that, substance in my music. Right? That's going to give me empowerment. That's going to give me history. That's going to give me knowledge. I want that in my music. Right? And I like the music. That's the thing. I just didn't love it because I'm a man. And sometimes with these women rappers, when they rapping about certain things, it's hard for us in this masculine culture to relate. And it's not about no red pill anything because I'm not a red pill guy. I'm very aware of what I bring to the table. I'm very aware of what I lack in. I'm very aware of myself, so I'm not overly masculine, but I'm also strong in my beliefs. I'm also firm in how I think, and I'm also gonna be outside the box. And I feel like that's just an opinion that's outside the box. So let's keep it moving, right? Because I feel like I had to touch on that. And shout out to Rhapsody. Shout out to Rhapsody and Badu for the best rap melodic performance or song. Shout out to Rhapsody for getting her first Grammy, man. Shout out to Badu. Man, I really love that. I really appreciated that. Right? But this Kendrick Lamar, he brought out a broom. He saw a little bit of dust on the floor. He saw some of the dust mites. He saw some of the cobwebs. He saw some things that needed to be swept underneath of that rug. And he got that broom out. And he got his dustpan and he proceeded to sweep up the Grammys in every category he was nominated in for the song of Not Like Us. Best rap song. Best rap performance. Best music video. Song of the year. Record of the year. Kendrick Lamar. King Kendrick. And they said he had 5 Grammys. And when we look at Drake's trophy case, we look at his case, he's only had 5 Grammys. Kendrick won 5 Grammys. Now he's at 22. I think Ye and Jay-Z are the only rappers in front of him. And you got to think that's from taking a 4 to 5 year hiatus. He still has that many Grammys. But when we think about Kendrick Lamar, like, I feel like he encompasses everything that the Grammys want from an artist. And like a lot of sites and, blog spaces are saying, like, the Grammys are not the end all be all. They're not determining what we define the culture as. Just like I talked about Doechii. Like, even though we appreciate certain music, like whatever they reward, that doesn't mean that's the end all be all. That's not the complete answer. But when we talk about a well-rounded musician, when we talk about the Pulitzer Prize winner, when we talk about To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale, Good Kid, Mad City, when we talk about GNX, when we talk about the all encompassing artist that Kendrick Lamar is, he can get deep, he can get personal, he can give you the substance, and then he can give you the lyrics. Then he can water it down so you can digest it. Then he can get in his bag and make the hits. Right, he can go into the battle. He can go toe to toe with one of the greats. Like, it's nothing that he hasn't done. It's nothing in his catalog that he hasn't touched on as far as a lyrical standpoint. Like, he's talked about everything, right? And I feel like he's that all encompassing artist. And Kendrick Lamar, he deserves this recognition. And one thing that he said at the end, no music, no nothing out there is bigger than rap music, right? Hip hop music, because when we think about hip hop and the hip hop culture and how many, things that we impact, how many things that we influence because of our style, right? Because of the way we dress, because of the way we talk, the slang that we use, because of the way we think, because of the way we're so expressive, because of the way we rebel, right? Because of the way we're willing to step outside the box and be fully transparent in our movement. Like, that's hip hop. Even with the toxicity, the murder, the robbing, the stealing, the over sexualization, even with some of the things that are kind of not as, you know, not as pretty as the other things that we bring to the table, right? We still have to acknowledge our flaws. We still have to acknowledge our shortcomings. And that's okay because we're humans. The culture is based on a group of humans and that collectiveness put together, right? And so there's not another, there's no music bigger than rap music, right? And just because like we're influencing the pop artists, we're influencing the country music, we're influencing the R&B, we're influencing the soul, we're just influencing everything in America, and not just America but abroad. So I think what he said was really true. It was really true. So man, big shout out to Kendrick Lamar because he really deserved it. He really deserved it. And not like us being the best diss song of all time, I think that was kind of already a no brainer, right? And when we think about that guy, that light skinned guy, when we think about, what he's been doing, what he's been saying ever since that record has been released, he's just made it bigger and bigger. He just added more insult to his injury, right? He continued to pick at those scabs. He continued to pick at those wounds, and they only got worse. They didn't heal. All right. And so, Drake, it's just, I don't feel sorry for Drake. I don't feel sorry for Drake. Because every time I feel sorry for Drake, Drake does something like do the lawsuit. Every time I feel sorry for Drake, Drake does something like the Fighting Irish freestyle, talking about tarnishing another man's public image. Every time I feel sorry for Drake, Drake uses academic as a pawn to expose LeBron James. Every time I feel sorry for Drake, Drake does something. When he mean mugged DeMar DeRozan at the Raptors game, and he said if they put his name up on the banner, he gonna take it down. Every time I feel sorry for Drake, I have to apologize to myself and say, I'm sorry you ever felt sorry, because you have no need to. So that's the thing. Every time we feel sorry for Drake, Drake does something to crash out, and he just makes himself look more crazier, right? But we didn't talk about the ESTG, right? The ESTG album, right? I ain't feeling you. we got to talk about that album because this is a music review channel. This is articulating rap. So aside of the news and the Grammy nominations and the awards and victories and trophies and all of that, we got to talk about ESTG, one of the most gangsters out of Louisville, Kentucky, right? He signed with CMG, Cocaine Music Group, Yo Gotti. Very, very violent with his lyrics. A lot of murderous, murder, kill type of lyrics. And which I don't mind because, like I said, it's a part of the hip hop culture. And even our flaws, we're willing to expose our flaws so that we can heal, so that we can get better, so that we can, progress and evolve. And I feel like that's what ESTG is doing on here. When I listen to the production, when I listen to the beats, it automatically puts me in that mode. It automatically gives me that energy. It automatically gives me those high energy vibrations. The beat, just the beat itself, and he used a Jeezy sample. He used a lot of Atlanta music from back in the day. Duffel Bag Boy, he used some samples. He used some Lil Jon, some crunk shit samples. He used that, and then I went back into my childhood, my early adolescence, and I thought about when I heard that crunk music, and I thought about when I was hearing that Young Jeezy in the summer of '05, and I recalled that feeling and that emotional state, and when I heard that production, I was energized, right? And the substance, it's a little less edgier. It's a little less violent. It's a little less drill specific. It's more so go getter music. It's more so hustling music. It's more so, grind. Like chase that money music. Right? So it wasn't as dark as it has been prior. And maybe that was the light that I needed from ESTG. Maybe that's the light that he needed to give. And, just hearing some people that are bigger fans of him than me, like the people from the streets, they might have wanted the original ESTG, the more darker, the more cold-hearted, cutthroat type of music that he delivered. But that lighter version of ESTG was more digestible. It was more easier to listen to. 12 tracks, 33 minutes. It was easy for me to give it 3 to 4 spins and really kind of dissect it because of that. Like, it was just good music to me. People talk about his voice. People talking about all these things, trying to complain about nitpick. Man, the guy got better. The guy evolved his sound. The guy is, he's working on his craft and he's perfecting his craft and he's trying to go to another lane. Right? Because you can stay in that lane all you want, but at the end of the day, how do you become better as an artist? And just like Kendrick said, Punch told him, you got to take this hip hop shit serious. You don't play with your craft, take your craft serious, and it'll take care of you. It'll take you serious. So, and I like the feature with Baby and Travis Scott, right? I just like that. That was the one song that rang off that I really kept coming back to. And I don't like these Rallo Rodriguez features. I didn't like the feature he did with Lil Baby on Wham. I didn't like the feature he did with ESTG on here. V's was straight. But Rallo by himself, I like Rallo by himself. But for some reason, when he get on other people's song, it just don't sound the same. So I would like to hear something from Rallo actually by himself. But the features, I didn't really care for the features that Rallo has done recently. So I mean, with that being said, I ain't feeling you. I would say 6.5, between 6.5 to 7. And why I say that is because it's good music. It's short and sweet. The production is great, right? It's a little less edgier, but still not too creative, right? Not too original, not too much substance. Not he didn't really take any risk. He just kind of polished his sound a little bit better. So the only risk he took was not being as violent. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that wasn't a risk because he was still violent, but just a little less. So I give it a 6.57. I think this song or this album will kind of like nobody's gonna talk about it again, just like we talking about Wham. All right, nobody's gonna talk about Wham again. It's early in the year. Kendrick just won these Grammys, and he's about to do the Super Bowl. So this album will pretty much be getting outshined by the news coverage of Kendrick Lamar. Because the thing is, people listen to podcasts, people listen to things like this, reviews, and we don't always listen to music all the time like we used to because music was the only thing that you could listen to. So now that it's all these other news outlets and content that we can get to when it's time to listen to music, if we are so enamored with what's going on with other content things, then we just don't get to that music. So I've noticed that a little bit more. So I think ESTG and Wham, they're gonna kind of go un un unheralded, right? And I mean they wasn't special like that. They was good. That was okay to good albums, but nothing too special. Uh, and then hey, TDE talked about the Grammys. TDE, they got a lawsuit going on. All right, they got a lawsuit going on. Two women are saying that there was sexual harassment, abuse in the workplace when they worked for TDE under two executives. I'm gonna try to see if I can read it because I feel like I am a journalist now. All right, and one of the women suing Top Dog Entertainment for sexual misconduct has doubled down on her claims after the label's lawyer called the lawsuit a shakedown. The suit filed on Friday, January 31st, accuses several TDE employees, including senior executives Brandon Tiffett and Anthony Musa Tiffett Jr., the sons of label founder Top Dog, of subjecting the women to sexual harassment and assault. In response to TDE's attorney, Marty Singer accused the two female plaintiffs of extortion, saying in a statement, "This is a clear example of a shakedown lawsuit by Linda Luna and Aya Altieri, who made a demand of $48 million through their attorneys on fabricated claims and whose attorneys are looking for their 10 minutes of fame. There are text messages and communications that totally refute these baseless claims. Additionally, Miss Luna and Miss Altieri were never employees of Top Dog Entertainment. We are confident that we will prevail in this action." Luna, one of the plaintiffs, have since hit back at the denial on social media, posting alleged proof of her working for the powerhouse hip-hop label, which counts SZA, Doechii, and Schoolboy Q among its artists. Management's memories with Alameda, but I'm lying, she wrote alongside a photo of her and others with recent TDE recruit. She also shared an image of her with Musa and wrote, "But I never worked with TDE. And my legal team, nor have I ever asked for 48 million either, or nor any other dollar amount. This is why it's hard for women to come forward, but we will let this play in court with the evidence. It's unfortunate women in this male-dominated industry are conditioned to think this type of manipulation and abuse is normal, and we accept. Not anymore." Luna added in follow-up post, "This is my truth, and I'm finally standing up for myself. This doesn't have anything to do with any artist beef. In no way, form, shape is this a plot or agenda to bring anyone down. This is my life." So the thing about Linda Luna is Drake's dad is one of her PR clients. So she's a publicist. And Dennis Graham is one of her PR clients. And OVO Smiley is one of her PR clients. And these allegations are coming out during the time where Kendrick is doing the Grammy Awards and during the Super Bowl. Although Kendrick is not TDE officially, we know he's had connections with that label, and this is not any lawsuit to throw at Kendrick, SZA, or any other artist at TDE. This is about Top Dog's sons that she's trying to sue. So, you know, that's the thing. That's why I don't get into this messy shit. That's why I don't get into this messy shit, because, like, we having our opinions. It's kind of like, one hand, it's so many women that do this and that are lying that we don't believe when this happens, just because the time is funny. It seems opportunistic. The time just seems weird, right? And the fact that you have ties to OVO and that you have ties to Drake, like, that's even more compromising in my estimation. But it's a lot of women that these things happen to, and that people don't believe them. And that's why it's hard, like she said in the statement, for them to come forward. But damn, $48 million. She even saying that I didn't ask for $48 million. But that doesn't tell me how much you asked for, because this lawsuit is a civil lawsuit. This is not a criminal lawsuit. And what did Jay-Z say? These allegations are so heinous and so terrible. I implore you to come at me criminally. Like, and Jay-Z got accused of something that happened in 2000. I'm sure this is more of a recent accusation. The statute of limitations is still on this, so I'm sure if this was for real, like, that's a thing. You come forward, but you're not trying to put these men in jail, right? And why you're not trying to put these men in jail? Because you want to be compensated for your troubles. Okay, so as long as you're compensated for your troubles, these men that are doing these things to women and their employees, they can still go free and still do these things to other people. So you're not really doing your job or your due diligence to society in that aspect. And I don't know if that's insensitive. I don't know if I should be saying something like that. I don't know, because y'all be making up shit. Y'all be trying anything about anything, and guys, so y'all don't give a damn. Y'all so insensitive. Like, I don't know what is wrong and what is right. I don't know anymore, because y'all gonna twist some shit to say, oh, you shouldn't have said this because of that. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, this is the black and white. Like, why can't I say this? It's too much nuances to everything. And I'm not big enough to be canceled anyway, so I don't really care from that standpoint. But yeah. So, I mean, I hate to end this episode talking about a TDE lawsuit, but it's just interesting at the time that this is coming out. It's just interesting to the ties that these women have with opposing record labels or people that that are oppositions to them, and to try to do this civilly and not criminally. Obviously, you want some compensation for whatever you dealt with, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. But they obviously throwing dirt. They obviously mudslinging. They obviously trying to put, some type of dirt on TDE, right? Because TDE has been pristine. They've always been held to high regard. And now this comes out, it's just making things look crazy, right? Because why is he around? Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Now we talking about TDE execs and they got weird cases. But it's your brother, your cousin, your uncle, your nephew, your friend, but I can't be his son, it's your kinfolk. William Jewell, giving you my detail as I articulate